Game of the day. GetGood versus DarthNoob7. Grit versus Drake.
Welcome back to the channel, folks. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web, bringing you another live league game of the day. Today, folks, we are on Gehenna Recycled. This is a high funds matchup, triple base airport, comm tower supported matchup. The little tiny bit of port action on the sides here. Now, we have GetGood and DarthNoob7 as our players today. As we can see here, DarthNoob7, number 2, currently ranked in the high funds ladder. GetGood rank 25. Now, these players are both incredibly strong. They are incredibly strong players indeed, folks. For those of you that don't know GetGood and DarthNoob, all you need to know about them is they're strong, and that's it. That's all you need to know. No ifs, ands, or buts about that one, folks. But Gehenna Recycled, this is an interesting map indeed. As we can see here, folks, this is 2 islands split down by a river and shoals directly mirrored on either side. Now, the cool thing about this map is this is a strong side versus weak side dynamic, folks. We have a strong side over here. We have a weak side over here, which is backed up by an airport. So the solo base side over here plus airport is responsible for holding down the front and not allowing your opponent to capture your potential 2 laboratories, which do count as HQs on this map. Now, it does take a little bit of time in order for this single infantry here to go here, capture that, then go over here and capture this, because this is actually not a direct capture chain. This does take an additional 1 day to move on to that property, folks. But once you do have that, after a couple of days, you do start to pile up a lot of units. But that does give the solo base side a chance to progress over here, potentially cap a property here. If they're lucky, maybe capture a property here. But more likely than not, at least potentially grab this section of the map right here, allowing them to have quite a bit of funds at their disposal. Yes, that's what we got going on here, folks. But I think we're in for a good one, folks. These are 2 extremely strong players. And we have Grit versus Drake today, which is a very interesting dynamic here. Grit normally in standard would be considered a broken CEO, but for high funds, because of the sheer amount of money being thrown around, there's a lot of tech up units and a lot more potential for wall breaks, and that's why Grit tends to be a little bit lower on the tiers. He is fighting Drake here today, folks, the naval specialist. Won't really get a whole lot of use out of those air units, but will have normal vehicles and access to global damage. So without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. On the first few days, folks, you know the deal. It is the standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field, folks. It is the number 1 priority in Advance Wars by Web. The number 2 priority in Advance Wars by Web, after all, is making sure that you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action. Alrighty, folks, let's see how the deployment of infantry goes in this one, folks. There's definitely some better capture chains in this map, and there are some worse capture chains, but it really just depends on what CO you're playing, whether or not you need income very quickly, whether or not the airport is going to be very important for you early on. So let's see what they decide to do, folks. It looks like GetGood might potentially be going for the airport first. And it looks like DarthNoob also going for the airport, but both have sort of progressed over to the eastern and western fronts now, which is pretty good. Well, let's see how it continues on here. DarthNoob with 22,000 funds in the bank right now, looking very, very good. We're going to switch the direction of these guys so they're looking at each other. It's very nice. Very nice indeed. to look your enemy in the eye as you're shooting them with a machine gun. That is what you got to be doing, folks. You got to look your opponent in the eye directly so you know, or so they know, that you have absolutely no fear. Oh, and GetGood opens up with the Soiled Abomination, folks. The Soiled Abomination is on the field, the absolute stencher unit of Advanced Wars right here. Now, when it comes to grit, a lot of people will normally say, oh, well, Sammy, if you're playing as grit, wouldn't you want to just build indirects all the time? Wouldn't you want to be popping out those artillery, the soap cannons? Wouldn't you want to be popping out the rockets? Wouldn't you want to be getting a couple battleships on the field here? Well, you know, yes, you do. But unfortunately, when it comes to good grit gameplay, you need a diverse army. You can't just rely on indirects, especially in high funds, because of that wall breaking potential, folks. So by getting the Soiled Abomination out on the field, as GetGood is doing here, that is going to be two things. One, it's going to be very good in your front lines because it's going to offer you a lot of protection. It's going to zone out your opponent quite a bit. It's also going to be very good for destroying infantry captures. And once you do get the indirects on the field, it is going to be an excellent wall. The Soiled Abomination is a very defensive unit, very high armor class on this guy right here. So it will be difficult to break that. We'll be able to protect the soap cannons a lot. But as usual, folks, I'm hoping to see the Soiled Abomination explode in glorious fashion here, as DarthNoob also busts out his Soiled Abomination, which is slightly stronger than GetGood Soiled Abomination, folks. If we can take a quick gander over here at the damage calculator, let's just take a quick gander here and just see what the difference is. So, Calm Towerless on both sides right now. If Drake was to attack Grit on a property, 3-star terrain, get rid of this. I don't know why that's there. Cool. I pressed the button. All right, there we go, folks. All right, so we'll be doing 38 to 44% damage, folks. And if we swap this over here, and Grit's only going to be able to do 30 to 37% damage, folks. So that's very cool. Also, folks, for those of you that don't know, if you have two units selected here and you want to see what the difference between both of the players, like, you know, first striking, all you gotta do is hit this swap button right here and it will swap the COs around, and that will save you quite a bit of clicking time, folks. So if you're doing some live league stuff, definitely be using those swaps, and there's actually a whole lot of hotkeys you can use too, so you should go check that out. Alrighty, so let's see. We've got the soap cannon on the field, double soap cannons over here, double artillery on the field. Very nice. It looks like DarthNoob is going for an interrupt down on the eastern front here, so very cool. Very cool indeed. Infantry in prime interrupting area right here from one of GetGood's infantry too, but that will be sort of a net negative. I don't really know if it's necessarily a very great idea to go in and interrupt that, especially when you still have a property over here to capture. But considering that there's a tank right here that is in position to interrupt this capture here, you could say maybe it would be okay to go and take the engagement. You could also say maybe it would be good to go in and get the capture. Now, if he goes for the capture, he might have to block with an infantry. I don't know. Let's see what he's going to do, though. He is GetGood, and one thing that I have learned from playing the good old-fashioned Souls games, folks, a game that's not Advanced Wars by Web, is sometimes you just got to get good. Alrighty, folks, we got the interrupt here. Very nice indeed. Got the battlecopter on the field. Both players have now got battlecopters on the field. And if you want to see another fancy little damage calculator thing here, folks, both of these players are incredibly weak when it comes to battlecopter combat. So you see here, Drake is only going to be able to do 52 to 61% damage to a Grit battlecopter. And if we swap that out, 52 to 61, 52 to 61, 52 to 61. That's it, folks. Both of these characters, COs, are equally bad in aerial combat. So tactically, it kind of balances itself out here. All right, we got an interrupt here, and the Soiled Abomination gets a first strike on the other Soiled Abomination. Oh boy, what a stenchful attack that was. Alrighty, folks, now let's see. DarthNoob pushing up, getting a solid position over here. GetGood probably going to have to retreat that Soiled Abomination. Doesn't want to keep it over there. Puts it on the city, which is very nice because it actually is blocked off by this soap cannon here. So if this guy decides to go down here and take an engagement, boom! Artillery blasts that guy away into smithereens, and he might not be riding home tomorrow, folks. We shall see. Alright, more captures along the way here. Now, the one thing that is kind of unfortunate when it comes to Grit, in a format like this, he's not actually quite as strong as I would say that he is in other formats. Because the armies are split up here, he can't really death ball as much as he would like to. You can still get a pretty good death ball, but you can't get like an entire army death ball, which is kind of unfortunate. But I wouldn't say that it would necessarily make him too much less powerful, just maybe a little bit less powerful. But we do have an infantry destruction over here, folks, which is very nice. And then it looks like the position is just being solidified over here from DarthNoob7. Alrighty, and that's it. Not going to push down south over here, just allocating all the units into the center here, formulating the troops, gathering them together, and having a good old-fashioned day. Oh, battlecopter engagement over here. Interesting, going for an interrupt, but does lose the infantry. And just to take out an infantry up here, which is very nice, though. 2 battlecopters in position now, which is, I don't know. It might be okay, it might not be okay. There is a battlecopter engagement here, backed up by anti-air, which is kind of a little bit risky, but we'll see. As long as this artillery is here, it might be okay. I don't know. We'll find out. Yep, got the battlecopter engagement. Probably a mid-roll there, I wouldn't say it's just necessarily low, necessarily high. If he did 6 damage, then it would be really high. So that's pretty much just an average roll. Alright, day 11 over here now. And we got the battlecopter engagement once again here. This is actually kind of an okay position here, I would say. Rocket is a nice little introduction to the game right here. Grit Rocket, definitely a strong unit. Can't really move too far, but a strong unit. But from this position right here, because of the shoal tiles, it is actually able to get quite a bit of movement. So let's see where he decides to put that, folks. Ooh, frontline artillery. Okay, here we go, folks. Going for a few more captures up here. And GetGood has 29 units to DarthNoob7's 24 units. A couple units are going to be deleted out of existence this turn, so that unit count is definitely going to be going down a little bit here. Let's see exactly how much. Now, one thing that would be really nice is actually if GetGood, if he can manage to save up the money, get a little bit of extra money in his pocket, folks. Getting himself a little missile could actually be pretty good here, folks. Some people will say that a missile is not necessarily worth it in Advance Wars, but when you're playing as Grit and you have the additional range and you can sneak out a super snipe or a snipe attack, missile can actually get a ton of value. Oh my god. Alright, so we got a co-power here, super co-power, so that's +2 range and additional firepower. And look at this guy. Artilleries are firing as far as battleships right now, folks. Oh my god, look at the flippin' range here. Undeniably mega super powerful right there, folks. Alright. 2 infantry are deleted from existence here by the artillery. Unfortunately, didn't really have too many other targets to attack. Moves up with the Soiled Abomination over here to take this attack, though. But there's going to be no coverage for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ugh. Yeah, you know what? That's I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose the Soiled Abomination on this one. Now builds another stinky boy, folks. All right, another stinky boy on the field. It's actually kind of funny that both players have the exact same amount of funds overall, but different properties captured around the map here. In addition, folks, Typhoon gonna hit like a flipping truck right now. Absolutely devastating Typhoon. Gonna allow for so many KOs. Oh, let's just take a little gander at this one again here, folks. Ooh, yeah. Alrighty. That's what I like to see, folks. I don't like to see it happen from a Soda Abomination, but I mean, it is nice that it got deleted, so that's okay. Alright, got a little visual glitch here. We do have an infantry hiding behind this tank right here. This is like the Where's Waldo of Advanced Wars by Web. Where's the Blue Moon Infantry? I wonder where he's hiding. Oh, now he's gone. It was all a dream, folks. It was all a dream. He wasn't even there to begin with. Yeah, that's some damage right there. I love it. You love to see it, folks. Alright, this is going to definitely just be a shimmy turn here. We're not really going to be fighting into anything. That's it. Just shimmy and turn. Can't do anything. I think DarthNoob is going to capture a property. So that is, ooh, 2 properties. So that's 36 to 34 now. When it comes to overall income. Very nice indeed. Another battlecopter entering the map. For a naval specialist, Drake sure does have a lot of battlecopters on the field. What is that? Like 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 battlecopters on the field. Yep. In all honesty, though, folks, on this map, air units are incredibly strong, so you cannot shy on the air units, even if you are playing a CO, which does not specialize in air units. You gotta get the air units on the field because the unit count is super important. And also, you know, they just do a lot of damage. They might not be able to do, like, as much damage as other COs, but they're still battlecopters, folks. They still get stuff done. Alrighty. Looks like we got ourselves another just a little defensive turn here, not really pushing out too much. This is one of the drawbacks of the great gameplay, folks. Unfortunately, a lot of the turns are just positioning turns, and it's not really going to be a whole lot of fighting. When you're fighting Grit, you are the one that has to make something happen, and that is what it's all about. If you sit back and just let Grit acquire his forces for too long, he is going to snowball, and he is going to defeat you. So you got to make something happen, folks. I think DarthNoob is playing an excellent game so far, but both players still have roughly, yeah, both players still have 11 minutes on the clock right now. DarthNoob will have 13 minutes next turn. So there's lots of time to play around here, folks. Lots of time for things to definitely work out differently. All right. Couple more snipes out here. Ooh, another snipe. Nice. Oh, that was a nice little snipe right there. No, it would be nice right now, though, folks. Just a big, flippin', sweet-looking, dignified battleship just popping out of here. I do love the battleships on this map, folks. I haven't played this map in quite a long time, but you know what, folks? I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have not watched this game. I didn't. I have no idea. I have no idea what's gonna happen in this game. Most of the time, I don't actually really watch these games. I like to react to it live. And when I said battleship right here, I would say maybe I was half joking, but kind of half serious at the same time, because battleship is really strong out of this position, but I had no idea that GetGood was gonna bust out the battleship right at this particular moment. So maybe Semi has a sixth sense. You never know. Alrighty, folks. I'm going to carry on with the match now. DarthNoob7, day 15, eliminates the infantry from continuing the capture. How many points did that have left? 9. Ooh. He was at it for a while, folks, but unfortunately, that while is done. Nice little battlecopter engagement over here. I don't think he's going to go and take another engagement, because I think it's potentially in artillery range here, especially with the normal co-power coming up. But classy boy, this guy has entered the fray here, folks. The first classy unit has made its way. Beautiful. You love to see it, folks. Alrighty. I think DarthNoob has a pretty good position here, folks. I think he's got a pretty good position. He's got to figure out something to do about this battleship here. But the battleship is kind of a minor threat right now compared to the sheer assault that could potentially happen here up north. I think GetGood might have to just concede this area and just sort of turtle himself over here. If he doesn't, there's definitely potential for a lot of damage over here. I don't think he's got enough artillery really to ward away these guys. Another rocket on the field though, so you absolutely love to see that. Alright, bomber moving down. Oh, the soiled abomination has moved in to take an engagement here, folks. And this is a 2-tower Drake right now, folks. So 2-tower Drake, those soiled abominations are going to be able to 2-shot this soiled abomination right here, folks. Oh, and he pops the mid-turn typhoon. Mid-turn typhoon, okay. Oh, and he doesn't push in. He builds another bomber. Takes some engagements down here. Playing very passively down here. He's definitely worried a little bit about the super snipe that's going to be coming here, folks. But I don't know. Let's see. Day 17 from GetGood pops the super snipe. The super snipey boy. Alright, got a soiled abomination engagement. Got an engagement down here. Now, the Typhoon mid-turn definitely coming into play here because these artillery are not actually able to do like as much damage as they could potentially do. But look at the sheer distance this battleship can fire here, folks. It is absolutely wild. All right, so he took out a few guys up here. He took out one of the soiled abominations, but there's still quite a few units up north. Quite a few units up north. Day 17. No co-power charge. Interrupts the capture. Sacks copter into copter. Ooh, bomber into neo-tank. Let's flip it. Oh dear, folks. That neo-tank was the guardian of the artillery here, folks. A soiled abomination has entered the battle. Oh my god, multiple attacks on the artillery over here, and I think there might even be, there could even potentially be more attacks here. Oh, got the clear on that one. Another tank hit right there, another tank hit right here. Dang, that's a good attack. That's a pretty good attack here, folks. Ooh, got a recon. Got a recon on the field here, folks. Very nice indeed. Day 18 over here from GetGood. Those rockets in the backline still firing shots, folks. Still getting her done. With no counter to the bombers that are coming in here, though, folks, that is going to be pretty dangerous for GetGood. He needs to get either some anti-air on the field or maybe even a missile. I mean, missile base lock in itself right now would actually be not too shabby, but considering the bomber does have a clear path to go right here, if he builds a missile, it's not going to be able to fire on it. So it's going to be kind of dangerous. All right, trying to protect the rocket here. He's going to be forced to buy. Oh, okay, so he's got the missile. Yeah. Okay, so missile, anti-air. Good purchase here. See, I was going to say, like, he almost needs a missile at this moment, folks. So this is a very dangerous situation indeed. What is going on with my mouse over here? Holy moly. All right. Missile's got pretty good coverage here, but it doesn't have a whole lot of coverage. There is potentially a tsunami attack as well, folks, getting that +1 or -1 global damage. Neo tank just walks right through the front line here and just takes the assault. Bomber could even, yeah, bomber could just front ship down south now. Massive attacks and uses the end of the turn tsunami after he's got all the battle damage. Oh my god, 195,900 value to 124,000 value right now. +1 property. And this guy is 2 out of range of the missile, so very good awareness over here from DarthNoob. Alright, takes 2 engagements over here, moves the missile up, activates the super snipe. Got a battleship attack, couple artillery attacks, another artillery attack right there. I mean, fighter might actually be a pretty good ideal right now. Yeah, and then he busts out a fighter. I mean, it's the only response, to be completely honest, down here, folks. This bomber is just going to be able to do whatever it wants. Due to the mountain range right here, the anti-air is not going to be able to effectively chase down the bomber. Bomber is going to be able to go over here, then he's going to go over here, then he's going to go over here, and the anti-air is just going to be like, ooh, where are you going? So, yeah. Fighter is pretty much the only counter to this position right now. So, hefty amount of damage over here from GetGood. Manages to take DarthNoob's value all the way down to 139,000. That is an unfortunate loss of a unit right there, folks. That is an unfortunate loss. That is also an unfortunate loss, folks. The Rockets are getting bullied on the Semi-Original Guide channel, as is tradition. Was that 50% damage from that Neo tank? Oh my lord. And an attack right here. This 2-base side, it looks like it has fallen, folks. It is not looking too hot at the moment over here on day 19. And another tsunami. Yeah, another tsunami is in the tank, ready to go. What is GetGood going to be able to do in this situation? And he's going to have to get... Okay, fighter's going up north now. And then he resigns. Yes. Yes, he resigns. Understandably so. I mean, at this point, there's really not too much that GetGood can do. DarthNoob is just going to spam another super co-power. And he's going to get more air units. And he's just going to smother this base. Unfortunately, Drake just cannot fight when he's being attacked into base range. It doesn't work, unfortunately. So, well played, DarthNoob7, and very fantastic game, GetGood. You both are fantastic players, and I'm very excited to see how far you guys are going to go in the live league. 100% truth. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one today, and if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel, folks. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.